I've always made an honest living. I've looked at all the heartbreak I've had in my life. People aren't honest in Canada. They're not honest. I just got screwed on real estate. That's the last straw. I got screwed out of thousands with my family. They're not my family. So denunciation. They said they don't want me because my mother was Australian. Well, I'm an Australian. I got her medals. I friggin' got them back. They were gonna take them, and I just had to scream at them. I had to scream at her crooked lawyer. Our real estate markets got so crooked around Collingwood and Blue Mountain. Crooked lawyers. And they deleted my account money. They just took everything. I've had enough. There's an apathy in Ontario. Oh, it's terrible around here. They don't vote. They don't do anything. It's a lot of vote in Australia. I don't want to get partisan, but Canadian Conservatives are the worst party in the world. Stephen Harper was a monster. He took this country down like a hell of a thing. And it's all over oil. But now all the money's gone into real estate. They're hunting around like chickens with their head cut off, but they can't see the gold. I denounced horse racing for a while because it was so crooked. It was so cruel. And then I talked to some Indigenous women that were working at Woodbine. It's moved up, but I don't want to get into it anymore because I don't trust it. I went to college after I had a hard go with the racing industry. It was corrupt as hell. It was drugs pushing, and it was illegal, but they got away with it. And that's another thing I noticed. Our legal system allows criminality. I got shot at. He got off in 2.5 years and murdered the next guy. I was driving taxi here. I don't know what it is with Canada, but it's not been a good country for me. Maybe you got justice. I don't think you do. I was in shelters. Okay, I was in shelters. They're horrible places for a sensitive. I'm an HSP. I cannot live with people. I was grown up by myself, living with horses. And I don't want to hear girls telling me they've been raped by damn father. You talk about perverts? These are cops. They're conservative, right wing, fascist cops. They've raped their daughters. They're throwing kids out all the time. And then they won't vote because they don't feel empowered. I'm done with Canada. I'm denouncing citizenship. I've just wrote, I had it going through, but it's almost the citizenship for Australia. See, my mother was Australian, so that's the advantage. I've got my Canada pension, but it's been a hell of a thing to get in because of the stupid boxed in forms like this. I've been starving because I can't live on the Canada pension system. These forms were supposed to be filed. He filed them. I got help, but the bloody system's boxed. Like they never, like the Canadian government is just out of control. They just don't work. Like you used to go down to a government office and it wasn't on computer and it wasn't any. But they closed the office here. I couldn't get forms filled up. So I go down to an MP, which I don't like. He knows I hate him because he's conservative. The ones that are pushing through and trying to get rid of every carbon taxation benefit out there. I don't like them and I don't want to live here. I want out of Canada. See, we're tethered to systems. We're tethered to fossil fuels. I'm angry. And I don't want to be angry. I want out of Canada. And I want out of the United States. I don't like Donald Trump. And I don't like conservatives of this type of conservatism. I think the Australian conservatives are better. Like conservatism was Winston Churchill, but I don't like even the healthcare system. I've been advised to leave for Australia. Who by? A lawsuit, a law firm. They said you can't win that suit. You should be able to. but they're protecting Canadian doctors. And they almost killed me. So I've had a lot of hardship. Like, first of all, PTSD is not bipolar. And that's what I discovered. They had me labeled as bipolar. Their diagnostic manuals are a piece of crap. They're a big pharma. He was making $150 to write a script in Ontario. That's a bad pay structure, my friends. I won't use doctors now. I got a doctor. She's not too bad. I'm going to use them to get the hell out of here. And but I don't want to live in Canada after what I've gone through. And I found out that you were paying doctors in Ontario. They've been covering up a lot of facts about that. Nutrition. Don Coleman left and went from Utah and went to, because it's all nutrition. I've known it for a long time. It's fentanyl. They're destroying crops. And I'm highly intelligent. My cousin's a professor of astrophysics in UCLA. He went there. He had to go because we had Diefenbaker and he was a piece of crap. I don't like progressive conservatives. I don't like any of those conservatives. They were just crap. And let's talk about the history of Canada. It was Diefenbaker that put that red ruddy flag in. It was supposed to be a unified country, but oh hell, it's gone into a bunch of rubbish. Yeah, I'm angry. I've had a lot of hardships, and this is the last. And it hurt to get away with that. I was on an ODSP, which is useless because conservatives got it. It was all right before, but I don't agree with welfare. I never wanted to be on welfare, but they convinced me, oh, you're mentally ill. You need welfare. Okay. I get on the welfare and wife's license because I'm all numbed out on numb drugs. It was after I got shot at, but I never had to put things together. And here's what I put together. I had social stress. I was raised, and they don't look at the person's history. And they don't pay attention to anything. So I'm a clinician, and I want to be an Australian counselor. I don't want people going through that again. I've seen all the wrongs in Canada. And I've seen all the things I'm not taking to Australia. I want clean horse racing. I want to make sure those track stewards are in charge of everything. I want a regulation independent on mental health procedures. And Dr. Abraham Hoffer was from the University of Saskatoon. You'll find him on YouTube. And he talks about this. We have to have an independent judicial. They're putting drugs on the market like a corker. I've talked to lawyers. They're from Alberta, criminal, but they're putting it through stuff and they're relabeling like Bitified. They had to go and fight that. They're always fighting. And I think it's the healthcare system. The whole bloody country's in boxes. Like our technology is advanced, but it's not working. And Australia was getting into e-business. Now we're forced into e-business. I'm doing e-business. But I'm going to live here while I'm getting through. But I'm living on this. And here's another thing. Fake. The first thing is the bloody, what they call health is fake. This is gluten-free. There's no reason why gluten's a problem. And I can't argue with anybody, you know. They're all brainwashed. The Canadian Dietetic Association says it's a racket. Of course it's a racket. I read it in the New Yorker. But they want a synopsis. A synopsis. Well, there is a synopsis. It's about an hour and a half read to get through the synopsis of why gluten isn't the problem. The synopsis is that they were just putting too much gluten in to bind the wheat because it's not home baked. Now, my family came here from England, my father's family, 1903. It was a good town. Why isn't it a good town now? Well, it could be good. Get rid of the Connies. Those former communists, conservatives. Get rid of them. and get sort of a socialized capitalist system of cooperatives, not welfare. Like they deleted the welfare system. Okay, I agree with that. But they didn't do it right. They deleted it. They just went right against. It's not egalitarian. People haven't got free speech in Canada. They haven't. I mean, their parents are so the I call them, I'm a boomer, man. And I think we are hated by money, but we're not even yuppie crap. We're not yuppies. I'm a hippie. And I'm still a hippie, and I listen to younger people. I think they're more like me. The younger that's what it is. I hear but they're so sweet. And I don't blame them. The is not the Molan. The Molan is, I love Molan. The guys are different. I know I was a guy. Okay? You gotta listen to a guy like me. I know what I've done wrong. And, if you don't know, right, love, never know. The women are more liberated. I don't mean sexually, I mean liberated in their choice of what they want. And I don't think a woman wants to be told what to do. I was talking to these girls are like the artists, and they say, he's good looking, he's sexy, but he's telling me what to do. And cool. We're having an affair. Ooh, that's two girls. We got gay. Because guys are just, wow, what's going to happen, guys? They experiment with sexuality. Lesbians distracted here. I've heard this quite a bit. They get so heartbroken by frigging guys that they gay here to a lesbian. I've never done that. I'm heartbroken by women in Canada. And not all of them. Like when I was going around, they said, you're ridiculous. Oh, Calgary, she wants to date me. You're ridiculous. What? I want to go back to horsepower. You're freaking ridiculous. But that's an Alberta oil company country. The only ones up there who use horsepower. The Russian, what do you call them? They're up there, and the Mennonites and Amish are out here. But they're getting out of that area. It's coming to play real estate racket. And why? You keep on going against Gene Jacobs and build more super highways. You can't run horse and buggy around here, no damn way. They do, but it's pretty dangerous. It's like Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, they're burying them all the time. I'm a sort of a traditionalist in some ways, but I love scuba diving. That's Barrier Reef was beautiful. That's damn cold water scuba diving in Ontario. It's freezing cold. The deeper you go in thermal plants. You go to Australia, that's beautiful. You can do 120-foot dive and see something. You can't do that here. You see your hand maybe. It gets really dark the deeper you go in an area. And it's colder because of thermal climbs. Yeah, I don't want to dive here. I want to dive in Australia. I love scuba diving. I've done a lot of reef diving. I know I can make money in Australia, but I can't make it here. One thing is against entrepreneurship. That's a stupid forget. They're against entrepreneurs in Ontario. Yeah, they're gonna crash. What they rely on? I'll tell you what they're relying on. You can see it. They're relying on Ontario housing market. The CMHC knows she's a crapping. Oh, it's gone bad in Australian parts. You just know where not to go. Adelaide, like that, in South Australia. Melbourne, oh hell, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go to Sydney. I like the Queensland area or Northern Territories. I like Adelaide. It's nice. The outskirts, like I can go to the outskirts of Australia I don't like city life. I like city life that can come in, play a bit of music, and enjoy some beer with my mates. But I sure don't. I don't like the price of beer here. $10 a glass, man. I can get. I'm putting coffee on. It's cheaper to drink in Brisbane to drink beer. Is coffee. Why is this? Well, I talked to Brewmaster. The freaking hops are so bad. Plus, they got weed and everything. I'd rather just have one or two beer or a nice Chardonnay or wine or something and enjoy it. But that weed, I'm not into that. And that's what they're offering. The McLean's magazine. Let's talk about this. You like your weed? Well, it's all right, but it's a profit-based industry, and they put all the concentration in going marijuana instead of food. Like it's getting bad. I gotta buy food, and once I get this GIC, but these forums are crazy. I'm starving, and I'm just eating oatmeal. But that's how my brother died. He wouldn't eat anything. I couldn't work. Well, because of the housing market, no options. Australia can look after sheep station or something and build it, but not here. When I was going on hardship, they might have helped me, like, oh, well, they'd look at that. You the guys, well, oh no. Another thing is male rights. The men don't have rights in Canada. I'm not talking cops about this. The cops are going for the same damn thing. You got an abusive wife, you got nowhere to go. And a lot of men have gone through the hardship. And I'm not pro male, but I'm just a highly sensitive guy. The courts looked at my case. It was an annulment, but tried to get help with that social worker. Oh no, she says you're rotten. Well, there's other stories that say she was rotten. I got proof, but why try to fight it? Why try to fight it? There's no help. And I was going through emotional abuse. I had to call Texas to get help. You couldn't talk to anybody here. And it's just got one way. I went through emotional abuse really bad, and I wasn't getting any help. I'm very highly sensitive. I can't live around people. I can't take noise. I wake up in the morning, they did change the noise ordinance, and the neighbor's got a friggin' chainsaw on a Sunday. We used to have laws, but hell, I can put up horses, Indian, and cattle and stuff. I can't take a chainsaw right next door to my window. And I yelled at her, and I said, will you turn that effing thing off? And I'm just sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of Canadian politics. Noise levels and cops don't work. I asked for help, but the guy's shining lights in. Oh, I don't do that. Well, what do you do? And my cousin's a police officer, not police officer, freaking police commissioner. I told him, what do I do with this? They took our cat and they wouldn't give it back. Oh, we had a hell of a time. These cops wouldn't do anything. And then I said, well, it's the law. You got to bring that cat back. They're making excuses. They've stole the cat. This organization, I tell you, I don't like organizations, Salvation Army. They're all piece of crap. You help your mind. And that's the Australian way, but not here. Go to these useless organizations that throw money in like a bucket. I'll tell you, if I'm donating money, and here's a man, he's 90, he's getting married again, he's got a girlfriend, he's healthy, but he's got all these antiques, so he wants to get rid of them. Get him. But he says, I don't mind giving them to these organizations, but they won't give me a tax receipt because he's got all these autistic people running it that it can't write. It's all right to give them jobs, but you gotta have somebody back there to bloody give them a tax receipt, man. That old man needs a tax receipt because he cashes in at the end of the year, and I think he deserves some rights. He's healthy as a horse. What he's done is he's got into, he's been healthy, like a lot of older kids. They quit going to doctors. That's one friggin' thing I've learned. You know, I don't be living long. You stay away from friggin' drug pushers. There's no inconsistency with pharmaceutical corruption. Mennonites and Amish don't go to doctors. They go to you go to naturopaths, and they pay for it. It's a single payer healthcare system, so the poor people suffer more because they go to these doctors. It's free healthcare, but it's useless healthcare. You know what I mean? They never get well. I do Reiki, and my problem is healthcare is free, and it's not honored. And the doctor will tell you, a good, honest doctor will say that is part of the problem. It's not honored, and that's one thing. I have to be paid for my work. I paid a lot of money to study Reiki systems. I've worked hard. I'm good at this, but they won't give me a chance. So I'm going to leave Canada. I got a bad reputation because I flipped out arguing with people. I don't like conservatives, and I don't like apathy. And I don't know. Every place isn't perfect. I was up in other areas of Alberta, BC. And I like BC. I like their values, but I don't like the housing market. It was nuts. It was incredibly insane. Now, we know we're crashing, but they don't want to talk about it because what we've done is tivered ourselves to two systems. Australia's got a mix of energy sector, mining resources, oil and stuff, but it's not tivered like Canada. Canada's just tivered to the housing market, and the debt level's going up and up and up. Now, it takes a young man like Luke on here to come in from England and see the truth. Well, he's like me. I've traveled the world, and I've been to England, I've been to Australia, and I see the truth of problems here. First thing, Christian work ethic. I've never seen people work so much. And the only good parts of Canada are the East Coast because it's more Buddhist philosophy of the Hungry Ghost of desire is what these areas are. Work, 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 work. That's the Canadian modality. He was a Vancouver doctor. He was addicted to buying CDs. Classical, spending $3,000 every 2 weeks buying CDs. Classical, like he knows anything can be an addiction. Because Vancouver's addicted like a corker with opiates and fentanyl. Canada, really, this covert is an underlying illness, but the main illness is mental illness. It's mental illness of addiction. I mean, people so mesmerized. I don't know if I blame Facebook. I don't know who to blame, and I don't think I should blame anybody. Just apparently in this moment, I look around me and there's insanity with the younger generation. And do I hate them? Oh, hell no. I care about them. That's my problem. I care about them. I care about them working 5 jobs and they're living in shelters. People that are working are living in shelters, sleeping on mats on the floor. You can't sleep that way. And I don't support shelters. I don't support charities. I don't. There's so many gone awry. And it's sort of an egoic form. Oh, I give the charities, you give the food banks. Look at the garbage they got. The solution would be to start growing food and empower people to go and get green spaces, go gardens. That's the solution. Not build more houses. And no, they're building on farmland. And that's a John Gorka song. What I'm hearing is these stupid real estaters. They're just. Luke's right. I could get a real estate license and make real big money. I know a lot to have, but they're stupid people. They're just blatantly dumb. They're dumb. They keep on saying, "Oh, the economy's good, it's strong," because they're selling houses. That's all they say. And they do. Anybody that buys houses is insane. But you can't buy houses. They put regulations in that you have to have 20% down. Well, people aren't saving that, are they? Are they saving for a house mortgage? And they have to rent. I know people in this town, young people, they're living in apartments. They can't, and they're working for jobs, which I'm on subsidized housing. Grateful for it. But, and I'm in a seniors apartment, and these people are messed up, heartbroken. They're nice people here. I love them all. They're just people I grew up with. And what's heartbroken is this millennial boomer bit. And the psychology of it's quite easy to see. When I was growing up, I came from a time, 1955. I was born in April. Steve Jobs was born in 1955 in February. And I hear that buzzer. I don't know. But 1955 was the same year as Steve Jobs, but he died at age 50. Now, he built an empire, and technology changed. When I was in college in Ottawa in 1970s, I was studying equine care. Equine care was a certificate course. Certificates under 2 years, and they condensed a lot of information in 1 year, 2 semesters, 77 to 78, I graduated. It was tough. It was very intensive. And it was out in Greeley, Ontario. They said they got it. Of course, it lost it. Humber started doing a 2 year equine care program that was a lot better. It was a bit more intensive. I think 2 years better. Olds has got courses. But I kept on learning. I never gave up. When I got well, I knew my life was about horses. Because I was raised with horses. And I've had to face a lot of hardship with, he came from Liverpool, England. Yeah, I had him working here illegally. He was training standard breds. He didn't have a clue. He was just a bully and a moron. He was a Nazi. He beat up my whole. I had a cool. He builds up a soft beat. When you're breaking in a horse. I see the Aussie way. You break your man. You just let him stand a bit and get used. Oh hell! He threw everything on and just started whipping and beating him. So out of fear, he rolls over on the side with the sulky attached. And I said, let him roll. No. He goes over there and there's a 4x a fence post. They're heavy 4x4. He beat him to death. And I tell women, why did you let that happen? Why don't you say, you poor man? I only have one woman say, poor man. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Quit blaming yourself, you poor man. Then the Kohano of the Boniface. The others, why did you let that happen? No. She said, you poor man. It's not your fault, Greg. So I met up and she was on, when Facebook was a good site and I could get a lot of people. I met a woman named Jan. She was an intuitive from Australia. She was living up in the Blue Mountains. You can do this, Greg. Have you seen the law of the universe called The Secret? Highly spiritual woman. No, yeah, I've seen, but I don't believe it. Watch it again, read it again, focus on positives. I guess that's where I have to go. But she left. She's highly empathic, sensitive. She was living with a man she loved in Blue Mountains. She was an artist and a painter. She had level 2 Reiki and she was using bush tucker and herbs to heal these horses. She showed me before pictures of the skinny nothings that she was rescuing, and they were beautiful after. She was a miracle woman. You can do this, and that's your job. Well, I took the Reiki systems. Well, I've always had clairvoyance with horses. Anna Tweeny's got the same thing she says. No, you're not crazy. And there's a few women that are equine communicated. I'm a clairvoyant with horses. I don't know why. It might have been when he was beaten to death. I could feel energy going up through my body. I believe animals ascend. I think he did. He went through me. And I was just numb. I was numb. I couldn't think, I couldn't emotionize it. And all this craziness set in. I was open right up, like a Kundalini awakening with horses. This is really spooky. This is really spooky. So I go into, I'm getting messages from horses. I call up, her name is Elite. She's an Australian Pupong Grand Reiki Master. Angel, she is Australian Angel. Jan put me in touch with her. She was studying under her. Sheena. I woke up in the middle of the night and the trauma was terrible and I had to finish it. There's a trailer of a horse and a foal in there calling out. Sheena says, you get messages. You're in the bath. You get messages. What it was Trump. You look at what's happened to the wild horse conspiracy, and I'm working with Greg Downer. They've been, at the time, the Bureau of Land Management in the United States, because there was a law against slaughtering horses, they were protected, the Mustangs. The Bureau was rounding them up, putting them the wild horse conspiracy is on there, and you gotta read it. Greg Downer's a friend of mine. He's living in Nevada. What he wants me to do is go to Australia. Oh, the Brumbies. There's a bunch of nonsense there, but the Brumby supporters are there. So there's some people that will talk. The only people that are talking about Mustangs here are up in British Columbia, and it's the First Nations. They've been moving the Mustangs up into the valleys of BC. I'm a supporter of wildlife, nature, children. Greta is a young woman that, of course, she's angry. I'm angry too at times. Emotional intelligence, I'm going to buy it. Our environment's being destroyed by a no dollar system. That's a synopsis. It's got no money, coin in the bank. So what we put our money behind? Oil and lies and shut down on conversation about the fossil fuel industry. Number 2, Justin Trudeau's not perfect, but he is standing for Canadian justice. They were shipping guns up from the border that were fully automatic assault rifles. Nova Scotia had a massive killing. So he had to go without parliamentary consent and pass a bill. He couldn't get that for the conservatives are so blatant they were gonna say this is wrong. Here, Canadians have big guns. They're all right for hunting rifles, but I'll tell you, you don't need fully automatic rifles to go hunting. They're killing weapons. Who gets them? You got fentanyl, opiate addiction. That's who gets them. So what's our cops are getting shot at? So they said, look around the young people. Oh boy, these are RoboCops. They're paranoid. They're getting shot at. I've never seen Mounties carrying machine guns. That's what's happening. This is getting insane. And we get gun lobbyists up here, and I don't want to live in a country like that. Like, I'm just saying, if you get shot and you're a vegetarian, why do you want a gun? I'm a vegetarian and I got shot at. I don't like guns. You get rounds fired at you. It sort of turns your mind a little bit. And another thing, our Canadian forces are really good.
But mom isn't new. We remember Choosy Moms Choose Chicks from the 80s.
And I can't stand Canadian women or American women anymore. They drive me whack. Some of them are all right. I'll tell you what I like. I met a young lady once, and I said, "Well, you look very feminine. You dress nice." Well, I'm a single. My dad raised me single, and he taught me to be respectful and be a lady. And the other ones, they're raised with their mama, and they're going around like tramps, and they're young, but they're just getting too. They're just being. And then I wonder why you're doing this, girl. I was raped. Well, that doesn't make you be a tramp. You're raped. Because I was doing Reiki and it hurt because I can't listen to any more rapes. You can't take things from people. That she wasn't giving that sex away. The gang rape. I go into the bars and I see these creeps in there. The girls are getting drunk. They wait till they get really loaded, and they move in and get them more drunk and more drunk and more drunk and more drunk. I saw two girls. Okay, the drinking age is 20. You're going out there. These guys are loading them up with more booze. And now, you know what they're going to do. Rape is getting too, and it's our legal system. They're so ashamed to report it. And pedophilia is pretty bad too. There's a lot of men I've been talking to that were children that were raped by their school teachers. It's the system, justice system has to be more with the balance in anything. It's laissez-faire capitalism. It's just let the buck fly, and that's what's happened. Now, one thing Australia's done is the law is you vote. The other thing is you talk politics. You don't talk sport. They don't like that. They get in a fight. But you can get a fight in any province. You can go up to East Bay Gold Flames, go up in Edmonton, crap. That's the sport. But in Australia, you can talk politics. Here, no. It's rubbish if you're partisan politics. And then it's just blind faith. Like we got a really bad progressive conservative system. It's really crap. Like I'm a Green Party, we can't even get in. Well, the Greens got in out in Prince Edward Island. They had the most majority because they had a majority there, but they didn't get in. Why? Because of the proportional system. The liberals, the conservatives got. They got a hold of power. That's sort of good, but they never really got the full island. Now, it would have benefited the island of Prince Edward to go completely conservative because their housing market is still stupid. And a Green Party solution would really take care of that. Like I am political, I have to be. I don't see any way it's the driving force of economics, but they got into this. Like I've lost friends here because they won't get political and take a stand. There's nothing wrong with taking a stand or being brave, but to just say I want to help everybody, even if they're conservative. Well, there's certain things like Babylon you have to walk away from it. You can't live like this. And I don't like Canada anymore. I want to go to Australia because there's things I like. The one thing is this Christian work ethic isn't there. People make good money, live good lives, but they have enough time to go out and to get involved in culture. And culture is important. Like Australia's based on a lot of things. Like I'm not against immigration. These people are nice. These people from India and other countries, but they put a hatred on them. There's so much racism now. And it's a sort of a psychological transference. All the culverts shut those buildings down. They were owned by India. That's transference. And they're always, these guys are whacked. I mean, I know it's a psychological transference. Yeah, I'm sitting in a bar having a beer, and I was getting good money on my Canada pension disability. Well, it's a transition that never got through on the Canada pension. I got no phone. I can't call to get food. So I'm trying to calm down, but I'm not eating. I'm eating porridge. And that's the garbage. You cannot give them food banks. Like when I get the money in, it goes to food. And I'll pack those shelves full of good, nutritious food, organic too. I'll pay them more. I can't drink. I have to make a choice between eating or drinking in a bar. And I don't like bars anymore. They're all full of political rubbish supporting the pipeline. I can't live here. I cannot live in Canada. I've had it. But they always tell you Canada's a good economy. There's things in Australia they're dividing up. And they're state to state. You got to go through quarantine. Well, it's the second wave. We got to face it. It's the second wave of this COVID virus, but I think they can get through it. We are using industrial agriculture here. And I really believe that's what the problem is. Ontario's got a terrible agricultural model. Terrible. Of Monsanto's and now Baird. Fed up. Fed up. Australia's still using the old form of agriculture. I hope.